Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, I'm going to be briefly discussing my thoughts on Episode 3 of the anime series Dansai Bunri no Crime Edge, or The Severing Crime Edge. And I have to say, first and foremost, if you watched my last video, I was left feeling really reserved and uncertain as to whether I wanted to continue with the series because of certain unnerving elements in that episode. And this one really brought my interest back. I mean, it was back to the humor, back to the intense action and stuff like that, and there was an underwritten suspense to this episode as well. Now, you basically, after we learned everything about the group called Gossip, overseen by this professor guy, and how there's like this whole mythology about killing tools, these weapons of varying degrees that are possessed by evil and usually down a family lineage and that kind of thing. And it all surrounds, of course, one of the two main characters. You have EY, who is said to be the hair queen. Her hair is possessed. It grows every night, long as hell. And then all of a sudden comes along Kiri, who ends up having his own set of killing tools, the scissor, and he's the only one who can cut the hair. So it's a match made in heaven or hell, depending on your point of view. And essentially, in this episode, there was a very interesting thing toward the beginning of it, where you have these two, Kiri and EY, going to their schoolmate's mother's salon, Misumi-chan. And Misumi, after there's a couple little moments of being starstruck back and forth between EY and Misumi, you have her feeling EY's hair. And when they go to leave later, she's basically questioning Kiri about it. And it's my own speculation, but I almost had to wonder if her interest, if her figuring out that something's up with EY's hair was maybe a sort of ominous foreboding of something to come later. Maybe Misumi ends up having killing tools and turns on them, or she knows someone who will eventually find them. And so the bulk of this episode, though, was to do with the big hammer-wielding guy that we saw at the very tail end of the last episode who escaped prison, and he's on his way to find EY to, make amends with this mythology that he wants to take her life and he wants all his wishes or whatever. But he's possessed by the killing tool, the evil of the killing tool that he has, the hammer. And there's also an intriguing moment where the younger sister of the two sisters who are supposed to be her overseers, I guess you could say, Yamane, misleads Kiri into thinking that they're going to be safe, that he doesn't have to keep a watch on EY, but in fact, we find out this to be false later on. He goes with his gut, he goes home with EY and protects her, and that's when this hammer-wielding guy shows up, and there's this great slice and dice moment where, just short of taking the guy's life, he manages to disable this guy with the hammer to save EY's life and preserve it. And so I have to wonder, because of course you had the professor just thinking this was so impressive, and of course it was an impressive little dance that he did with the scissor, the crime edge, but toward the end of the episode, you have this, again, ominous and foreboding sense when the two sisters, Bio and Zaka or whatever, basically finding out that this guy killed himself after the fact. And so the question is, did the professor have him killed? Did this guy, in fact, kill himself? And what does that all mean? How many more people are going to be coming after EY, and what is it going to take? How long is it going to be before Kiri has to take a life to save her? And what will that do to him? There's a lot of stuff going on in this series, and I'm very intrigued to check out episode 4 when it comes out, and I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of episode 3 if you've seen it. So that'll be pretty much it for me on this. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll catch you later. Peace.